Hey guys, let's take a quick second here to recognize one of our great sponsors for our upcoming car show, and that's Wyrick Roofing Professional Roofing. You got a leak in your shop? Even worse, you got a leak in your house? Give these guys a call. Have them come out and give you an estimate. Thanks. Well, how's everybody doing? We are back here on the station wagon again, and we are going to work on this front floor pan. Last time you seen me make that floor pan out of sheet metal, put some bead rolls in it, broke it over a little bit, cut it out and got it ready to go. And I figured, well, since I've made the pan on here, I might as well go ahead and show you guys how I install one. There's any number of videos you can watch on this. A lot of people do it a lot of different ways. I prefer to cut mine out and get it as flush as possible and weld it, tack it in, and then weld it all the way and grind the welds off. So with that being said, we're going to jump on this one. Now that pan we made last time, I've got it in the car, and you can see I've got it taped off. That's my tape line. I'm going to cut to the inside of that tape and take out the existing floor pan, and then we'll shave that new pan in until it fits in there pretty flush. Now I'll go ahead and show you the back pans. I don't have them grinded yet, but I do have them welded in. And this right here is kind of like what we're doing. Drop the pan in and weld it all the way around, get it as flush as we can. And once we get to that point, then we just grind those welds down kindly smooth. They don't have to be terribly perfect. We'll go back, we'll paint the floor. I prefer to use a paint, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll get that for you, that you put on here. It protects it from rust, obviously, and things of that nature. Put that on, we'll get it looking real good there, and then go back with a little seam sealer over where all the weld points are and seam seal them, and then we'll put down our insulation, Killmat, Dynamat, whatever you prefer. I typically use Killmat. I've used it before in my Cadillac. I will say this, bit of a review. When we done the 60, I didn't have enough Killmat. I used what I had and I got real close. Well, then I said, well, they've got this mat on Amazon, and it's Amazon, and it says Amazon on the mat. I ordered that. Just nowhere near the quality of like a Dynamat or a Killmat. So if you're looking at putting Dynamat in your vehicle, I would personally, I will not ever use the Amazon brand again. It just was not thick. I mean, it went on like it's supposed to, but it was thin. It tore real easy, and I just didn't like it. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, I went ahead and just used it because that's what I had, and I mean, it's been fine, but I prefer the Killmat that I used in my Cadillac. So we're going to use quite a bit of Killmat in this car. So that's that. Let's get on this, because we can't get putting that mat down until we get this floor pan in. So here we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my pan up, move it out of the way, and I've got this tape line, and what I'm going to do is cut inside this tape line. That's where I want my cut to be. I'm going to take it out. Now when I get off in here, I've got some bad places here, so I know I'm just going to come down and cut around this bracket for now, and then back to my tape line, because I need to do a little work here, and I don't want my body mount covered up. So let me grab my cap to protect my beautiful head, and we'll be ready to go. Now, safety is important when doing this stuff because of rust. You know, I've got my gloves, long sleeves, got a cap covering my head, and I got my safety glasses on. You always want to wear this stuff, because trust me, I've had some metal in my eye. It's not fun. Alright, we have a cut done now. We'll we'll see if we can pull this pan up out of here. Grab a pry bar. Alright. Pry bar and hammer. And see if we can start to wiggle this pan up out of here. Now the object is to take out, you know, as little. You don't want to take out, you know, more than you have to. If you have good metal, you want to keep it, obviously. There should be some spot welding up in here, but I doubt you'll ever find it through this rust. We may have to take that out in pieces. And what we have is, we have a support running through here. So we probably ought to cut it right across there. Take out that section there. Right here is our support. So we'll probably take out right there now. Trust me, some of these panels can be a real pain in the butt to get out too. Alright, had to take it out in pieces because of the spot welds, but now we can start in with our pan. So we're going to get to that right now, and then we're going to clean all this up and test fit everything, and then we'll go from there. Alright, now that we got that cut out, we need to go in and we need to clean all this up. Your light right there, we go. Now we need to go in and clean every bit of this up. Shine it up with a flapper disc. Now on that trans tunnel right there, that's an insulation. You can probably see it right there. Now I learned something about that. One thing is, it's extremely messy if you try to take a wire wheel to it. So I've learned an easier way to go about that, and I use an oscillating tool. just a scraper bit on that oscillating tool works amazing on that. It's very little mess, it's not dusty, and it just scrape it right up, because that glue is terrible. It's, you know, 60 years old, and it can be a bear, you know, to go at it with a scraper and a hammer and a heat gun. So I've learned that oscillating tool, it just brings it right off there. It's really the best way to go. If you don't take anything at all from this video, you can take that, because that oscillating tool really works good. So I'll get you guys on a tripod and get you in there, and then we'll start in on the cleanup of this thing. See if we can get a little something done. I've got my flapper disc, and we're ready. Now, and all I'm going to do is go around these edges and just clean this up. Alright. It's starting to clean up. I believe we can weld. I know right up in here is good welding. The brace, the support here is still in pretty good shape. It looks rough, but the metal's good. Up in here, along this edge, the metal is good. We're going to have to move that ground wire, obviously. And probably need to come off in here with a smaller scissor wheel and cut that bad there out. Yeah. Still got, there's a little bit of work, there's a little bit more work here involved than just dropping a pan in here and welding it up. There's a few things in here we're going to have to address. Cab mount will have to be addressed. This brace needs a little bit of work where I hit it with a cutoff wheel a few times. I'll weld that back up, grind it off. And we really need to get this edge along here quite a bit more cleaner. I mean, I'm sure that it would probably weld, but I would like it just I would like it to be a little better. You don't want to get in a situation where you start welding and then you just don't want to weld. So let's take care of this trans tunnel right quick. I'll get the oscillating tool and we'll knock that out. Alright, standard oscillating tool here. And let's see what we can do. Try to get in here a little bit on it before I can get to it. Alright, pretty good right there. So, you can see the oscillating tool makes really quick work out of that. And that's, right there sure is a messy job. Still got a little bit more. I won't suffer you through all that. I just wanted you to get a grasp of using one of these tools on something like this. This thing really pulls up seam sealer really good too, so keep that in mind. That right there with a wire wheel would have probably took an hour to get it that close. And now I can clean up this edge of my trans tunnel and we'll be ready to go there. So let's get started with that. Got a little seam sealer right there. Try to take it out of there with this. Oh yeah. Now you can see where I've cleaned, and I've got some shiny metal up through there now. That metal looks real good. There's not going to be an issue here welding this, I wouldn't think. Now this one right here is a little dicey. We're going to do some major cleaning up in this area right here. Even though we're not welding there, we still want a nice finish. So that's where we're at. So now we'll start tackling cutting all this in for the new pan. So I got to cut a little here and a little more here out, and we'll have to patch all that in. We're going to have to make us a new brace that runs from here So right there. So let's get started on that. I cleaned the this piece here and sprayed it with rust converter, and then we ended up cutting that piece here out. So I made one for it, and I've kind of welded it into position and welded up a few of my cut marks where I cut that out and kind of got into the brace. Now one thing you'll notice now is this cab mount is gone. It was just too far gone. I thought I could save it initially, but as I got back inside here and looked, it was just rotted, completely gone. So we had to cut that out. Yeah. Of course, the one on the driver's side had to be cut out too. So I don't know what I'm going to do there just yet. What I do know is luckily that cab mount sits on top of the floor pan, so I can go ahead and put this pan in. Now I cut out for that mount out of my floor pan, which is fine. I'll just go back in with a filler piece and weld it into the pan after I figure out what I'm going to do with the cab mount. Because these cab mounts, I looked at them online, they're extremely expensive. Those cab mounts, $118 a side. So we're going to try to make something here. I mean, obviously if we can't, we'll order them, but we're going to try first before we just go out and drop $118 a side. So that's that. Let's go ahead now and weld that floor pan into place. Go ahead and get it down, get that much done and out of the way, so we can start in on that cab mount next. And go ahead and I'll probably go ahead and weld in the top of that rocker too while I'm welding all that in. So let's get going with that. So I got a few tacks in now to kind of hold this in place. And I might put me a little relief cut right here. There's a ground wire that comes in, and the pan is kind of hitting that. So I'm going to make me just a little relief cut right here and bend that back and cut it off, and that way that should push all the way down flat anyway, and then we can continue with our tack welding. I'll go ahead and do that now. I want to cut the blanket up. Alright, now that right there will allow that little room for that ground wire that you can see right here. So now I'm just going to try to go through and push down and get as flush as I possibly can and start to weld this in. And what I may end up having to do also while I'm here is make a relief cut right down through here, because we're still riding on top of that pan and we want this as flush as we can get it. And then I'm going to also have to drill a few holes out through here so we can get welded down to our cross member there. So let's go ahead and look at this right here. Now, let's see. Yeah, we're going to have to put a little relief cut in that. I'm going to try to put a little line on it here so I know whereabouts I need to make my cut. And probably right about off of that right there to about right here. Let me get something, draw a little straight edge on that. We want this pan to fit as flush as we can get it. And you're going to have this in these cars. You're going to have, as you put these pans in, if you're making them, and typically even if you buy them, there's going to be a degree of this. Kind of shaving it in a little as you go till you get it in there the way you want it. So let me go ahead and put that cut in it and see if we can't get this pan to lay on down. That's really close. Take just a little bit more out. Yeah, that's right there, really close. So I believe I'm gonna go ahead and put me a tack on that and get that laid down. All right. To knock that little corner right there off, and then I believe she'll lay flat all the way across. That did it right there. Now we're in good shape. And I believe we can tack this in all the way across up here. Alright, let's body hammer now. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm pretty pleased with that. We got a little fill here. So now our next step is to drill a couple of holes in here and try to push this down and get this edge right here down. And then we should be riding pretty good. Actually, we probably want to go ahead. Let's go ahead and lay a few tacks on this edge right here, and then the pan will be sturdy. Alright, she's all tacked in now. See, we don't have much give in this. I need to run this rail, drill a hole in it, and tack it down to this support right here. But yeah, even with just a few tacks in it, it's super strong. And here we go, she is welded in around now. This turned out really good. The pan worked out good. Took a little manipulating to get it in there, but man, it looks so good, and it's super solid. You can see where I had punched some holes through it and welded down to the cross member there off the body. And now we're going to move on, and we're going to set this rocker in, and then put it in and get it welded down. Oh, let's see. Now the way that I've got these made, they just basically just sit right down in there. Take your body hammer here and get them tapped in. And what I've been doing on the other three is I've just been going along this edge right here and just tapping it all the way down both sides to get this straight, and then pinch it in there and then just weld it up. Pretty simple stuff. So I'll go ahead and weld that up, and that'll about do us in. That pan is now welded in. The rocker is welded up as well. Yeah, we're looking good. Now, like I said before, I'm going to have to come back and do a little something here. And I've got two pieces. I don't really want to go messing with that too much until I figure out something with a body mount. So, I mean, the job's, I guess, 95% done. That pan went in good. Making that pan worked out nice. Just got to remember, just when you got these pans, you're making them where you buy them. Just take your time, shave them a little bit at a time until they fit good. The better fitment you have, the better and quicker it's going to take to weld those in. So that's going to do it for this video. We'll catch you guys next weekend. Keep up with us on the Facebook page. Like, share, subscribe the video as always. And you guys have a great weekend, and we will catch you next time on the 55 Wagon.